What's going on, girl?
Hi, I'm so excited to see you again.
I know it's been forever, right?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
welcome. You look beautiful
Thank you. Same for you.
at the Healer Hip Hop. So,
Mm,
welcome to the face behind the brand. As you
hmm
know, I am Monique Marie, and you are Anna Schwartz at the Healer
Yes,
Hip Hop.
yes,
So, what's
I
going
am.
on in Germany this morning? Well, I should say afternoon, evening.
Afternoon, I'm like getting ready for the night or
Yes,
evening. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's already like kind of getting cold again. So, yeah, I had a very lazy Saturday with my son and did a little music actually.
Did
So,
you?
yes.
Tell me about that. How's that going?
I had a very, that was a really, that was like accidentally somebody who I knew and learned from at work.
Mm,
I'm working as a recruiter, and he casually told me that he's doing music. So, but that was like a year ago, so I didn't think much of it anymore.
okay.
And today he told me that he's planning to release some songs in October.
Wow.
And he asked me if I could help him, like kind of interview him or anything, or if I wanted to listen to it. And I said, sure, but I want a feature on it. So
Oh
he
my
sent
God.
me some music, and yeah, I
Oh
was
boy.
inspired. So
And here you go.
yeah, yeah,
You know, because I'm still like, there's so much going on right
yeah,
now with you. I'm still in shock. Okay.
a lot. Yeah.
Because, well, let's get into it. Because first, I want other people to know. I know who you are, but who is Anna Schwartz? Who is the Healer Hip Hop?
The healer hip hop. Well, Anna Swartz is like my alter ego, just like Sasha Fierce is Beyonce's.
Mm-hmm.
Anna Swartz is the name you get when you pronounce my name, my German name in English.
Mm-hmm.
I got that name from, like, I won a ticket for a Solange concert here in Germany.
Oh wow.
That was 13 years ago, I think. And yeah, they wrote Anna Swartz on the envelope with the tickets on it. And
Mm.
so that became my name, kind of.
Wow.
And so that name is, for me, connected to hip hop because of Solange and, yeah, the music I listen to.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot later, I used this name as my, well, alter ego or artist name or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in 2017 when I started a podcast.
Yes. Yes.
Actually, because I've been listening to many podcasts, and then I figured, I think I can do that too. And I'd really
Absolutely.
love to interview some people, about
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the music that I like. And that's how
Mm-hmm.
I found you
Yes.
and asked to interview you,
Yes.
which was very beautiful. And I really still love thinking of that time because that was I was at that time I was on dialysis,
Mm.
so it was a very challenging time. And for me to see that I can still do new things and do what I love, and that's why I named it the Healer Hip Hop, because the project itself
He's healing and yes.
is healing me.
Yes.
And there's
Yes.
so much more to how hip hop heals and can heal. So I just love that name, and it's my favorite song by Erica. Erica Badu is my favorite
Yes.
singer,
Yes.
besides you, of course.
Ah, Anna.
Yeah. So yeah, this is like it just made sense to me. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot to explain about the around the name. Yeah.
Well, we got time. I got time for you. So let's paraphrase that because that's what my next comment was. I want to paraphrase your favorite artist as Erica
Hmm.
Badu, and we love
Yes.
Erica, her soul, her spirit, her
Hmm.
energy. Let's paraphrase. I see my mom on there. She's saying hello to you, Anna.
Hi, hi,
Remember?
mom.
She's like, I
That's nice.
remember her.
Oh, cool.
So yeah,
Then I
so
remember her too from your videos.
yes, yes. So I told her, I'm like, I'm interviewing Anna. I'm so excited. So it's bigger than religion, hip hop.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
bigger than my people, hip hop. It's
Yes.
bigger than the government.
Yeah, for sure.
This one is the healer hip hop.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that is from Erica Badu's The Healer. So
Yeah.
what does that actually mean to you? What does that energy give you?
Um, well, hip hop has played a big role to me in my life, but
Mm-hmm.
when you just look at me, you might not think that because
Right.
I'm a very small girl from East Germany, and still hip hop meant a lot to me.
Hmm.
So I was always afraid to say I like hip hop, and when I did, people were like, "You
Yeah.
really?"
Right.
So I always had to kind of keep it, not keep it secret, but that was like my other life. There was my work life and that other life.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, um, to hear that song, she kind of gave me permission because it's bigger than her people. It's bigger than the government. It's bigger than just the United States. It's become such a big thing worldwide, globally. People feel the music so much. So
Absolutely.
I kind of felt like, yeah, she means me too. I'm allowed to say I love hip hop too. And I want to, with the podcast and everything I write about, or yeah, people I interview, I want to emphasize on the positive aspects of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why my camera is doing that. It's kind of
What's it
getting
doing,
dark.
girl?
It's going dark all the time, like kind of trying to save.
I know mine does that too. Like if you're not holding it or touching it,
Okay, so I have
it'll
to
get
keep
it.
touching it. All right. So yeah, I just think hip hop has the power to bring people together.
Mm-hmm.
I love how you find very local types of music combined with hip hop all over the globe.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just very beautiful, and I want to focus on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, I just love it. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love, yeah, finding new artists and talking about what brought them to hip hop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I still, of course, will never forget 2017.
Hmm.
When you found me and discovered, we discovered that we had a lot in common. But
Hmm.
woke me up in the very early morning, and I was so excited about it. And it was just the whole pop, the whole pop. It was the whole part that the first thing you said is like, "Are you a hip hop artist?" Because the song that you heard, as you know,
Hmm.
it was on a hip hop track. So
Yes.
of course we discovered I love to sing over hip hop beats,
Yeah.
and being from Oakland and just loving that 808 sound, that whole thing. So you mentioned something also during that time, and I'll never forget. I think it was episode 5 I was a part of, right? I'm
Hmm.
going all the way back. And you said, often like, it can be associated with violence, a lot of times,
Yeah.
and people and aggression, and people misunderstand what hip hop really is, So kind of go into what that means for you, especially in Germany, because we don't know what
Yeah,
it's like over
exactly
there.
that. Exactly.
Yeah.
If you just stand there and say, I like hip hop, then
Mm-hmm.
people who don't know it, they're like, ugh, like, it's all that gangster stuff, and who likes that?
Right.
Like,
Right.
they dance to it in the club when it's
Mm-hmm.
like all washed over and not gangster anymore. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so people say they like hip hop, but not too much. I can't speak for all. We have a big hip hop scene. We have very big hip hop artists.
Wow.
But
Wow.
in the corporate world, to say I like hip hop is just,
Mm.
it has that touch of it's a gangster thing, and it's I don't know, underground, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So and I don't think that it's that too, because
No.
it reflects the environment, but it's more than that. It's bigger. Um, and I also think, even if it's battle rap,
Mm-hmm.
it's still a way of improving, getting better, healing,
Mm-hmm.
not being really violent, but battling each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, with your voice and with your
Yeah.
brain.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I see E Rain has joined us, Future of New York. He said 2 queens on the grind. What's going on,
Yeah.
E Rain? So tell me this, because going back to what we said in the beginning, that hip hop is healing. How is your health? How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Oh, that actually, it was this podcast too that really helped me heal.
Mm-hmm.
I have to keep touching that. Um, because in 2017, I've been on dialysis for 2 years already.
Mm.
And my perspective was to stay there maybe another 8 or 10 years more, which is
Mm.
not a nice perspective. So I was trying to look for ways to get a kidney transplant.
Mm.
I was looking to travel to Spain, actually, which was not easy on dialysis. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was a very tough time. And then um, through all this listening to podcasts, I was so inspired. You know, the one good thing on dialysis is that you get a lot of time to
Mm,
yourself.
yeah.
So I listened to a lot of inspiring podcasts, and I learned about people working online, people working globally, traveling everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
even sick people or people who were restricted in that way or who were challenged by their health could do that. So I kind of broadened my visions for my life or what I could possibly do. So I
Mm-hmm.
started the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and like 2, 3 months after that, I quit my job.
I
Not
remember.
because I
Yeah.
believed I could live from the podcast alone, but I started learning about online businesses and digital marketing, and I learned that, and I wanted to, you know, offer that and live from that. So when I quit my job, I had a lot of time, free spare time at my hand,
Mm-hmm.
and I remembered that there was one thing I wanted to do, which was go look for my father, who I
Mm.
hadn't seen in 30 years, and I didn't really know where he was.
My God.
So I had that plan of just traveling to my old hometown and ringing the bell of my grandparents at my
Mm-hmm.
grandparents' house,
Mm-hmm.
which I did not have any recollection of, and I knew I saw it online that they were still living there. So
Wow.
I just traveled there with the plan to just work on my podcast and do things, and then eventually ring the bell like every other day.
Mm-hmm.
First day I got there, I rang the bell. They were there, and they were so happy and
Oh,
relieved to see me.
wow.
Yeah. And I didn't know how they would react. So that itself was healing. Then my father came.
Mm-hmm.
Within 4 or 5 hours, he was there. He traveled all the way straight to see me.
Mm.
We connected, and after some months, he came and offered me his kidney.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
Anna.
yeah.
That's amazing,
That
girl.
was really amazing. So it took a whole year. You know, you have to do a lot of tests and whatever, and had to find a perfect time to do it because I have a
Mm-hmm.
son who's going to school. So I wanted to do it in the summer holidays,
Yeah, yeah.
and it all worked so well.
Oh
And
my
now
God, what a
I have a
blessing.
healthy kidney now for 2 years. So I kind of
Oh,
feel like I'm back to normal again.
well,
You know, so
yes.
that's
Well, you look amazing,
wow. Thank you.
healthy. You're very
Yeah.
active. You've been, and you talked about that prior to, pre-COVID. There was a lot of healing that was going on, and
Yeah, yeah,
I think as crazy as said, even with so much loss and craziness right now, but
hmm
there's still a lot of healing going on right now. So it's just
absolutely.
like,
Yeah,
I think, audio, can be very powerful. It's a very powerful emotional experience. Would
hmm
you agree? Like, with podcasting, when it's
absolutely.
when it's done well, and of course,
Well, you know, I learned the power of it when I was on dialysis. I had
yeah,
like 5 hours 3 times a week where
mm,
you can't move,
yeah,
can't go anywhere. So the first year, maybe I spent my time watching all the Netflix and
mm-hmm,
I was,
YouTube, mm-hmm,
but then you
mm-hmm,
finished all of the series and whatever's out there, and then you get bored again, and that's when I
mm-hmm.
started listening.
Yes.
Um, and that changed my life, really. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Well,
listening to interviews. Yeah.
I realize that too, because I start realizing, and I say it a lot, but I'm really saying it to myself, like listening and
hmm
hearing are two different skill sets. It's like,
Yeah.
I know you're listening to me right now, but can you hear me? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like,
100.
yeah, to like really pay attention to what people are saying, because they're saying a lot when you really listen to them and not just
Yeah.
hearing them with your ears. So tell me more about the communication with the public. Like, what is the actual key to success, would you say, when you're dealing with the public? Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that. I'm still looking for the key. Yeah.
Like, I
So
mean, have you ever dealt with, say, have you ever had an experience like that? It wasn't a very fun experience during a podcast?
never, never. I think
Good.
I've always chosen people that are very, when you call a podcast the healer hip hop, you
Hip, yeah.
you
You're picking,
attract
you're
people that,
drawing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I like
that
that.
I just always enjoyed doing it, and I did uh, like meet people live,
Mm-hmm.
which is different again,
Mm-hmm.
but also to talk to you
Yeah.
You are literally at the other side of the
The
world.
world. Yeah. Yeah. It's
It's
amazing.
amazing. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
feel a connection to you, and we've never really met in real life, and
Never met. Yeah.
that's a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've stayed connected. And I
Yeah.
just, how is your son, by the way? How is he?
He's great. He's
Yeah.
getting bigger and taller. He's 16, so he's
Oh my
something.
gosh.
Yeah.
What is he in? What is that? 11th or 12th grade? 11th grade?
It's 10th for
10th grade
him
there. Okay.
in Germany. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So,
That's
yeah.
amazing. So
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about what's going on right now in Germany, because I mean, I know you also to be an activist, and you're
Mhm.
very, very much so supportive, especially with the Black Lives Matter movement.
Mhm.
Tell me what it has been the last several months since, for one, COVID began, but then of
Oof.
course, yeah,
Yeah.
thereafter the fight for
Mhm.
equality has began also. So,
Yeah. It was. I was very, very happy and still a bit surprised to see that the whole Black Lives Matter thing
mm-hmm.
came here too. And there were big demonstrations in the capital city, but also other big cities, even smaller cities. Um, I loved to see that. I loved, and it was not just the, let me say, I don't like the word, but Black community or
Right.
African community or African American community. It was many people together.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved to see that. But it was, and maybe it still is a very challenging time
Mm-hmm.
with
COVID.
COVID still.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
it's
It's a lot, right?
challenging. Yeah,
Yeah.
challenging. But I think there's a lot of healing in that too, but it doesn't always look like it.
Mm-hmm.
On the
Mm-hmm.
outside, it looks like clashing of opinions, of old world versus new world, racists were, it's like everything seems to get more visible. That's
Mm-hmm.
my
Mm-hmm.
feeling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you guys have been on lockdown just as we have then, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
correctly. For how long was it?
Since
I think
March
it was
here. So,
April,
okay.
yeah, March, April, May. I
Okay.
think we started opening up in May. So we were kind of lucky, I think. If I look at countries like the United States or the UK or Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
so far we have not even reached 10,000 deaths, which
Okay.
is still a good number.
Yeah.
We are 81 million. I don't know. We're something 80 million.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
well, it's especially challenging for me a bit because I have to really try not to get COVID. But
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I want to stay confident in my health.
Yes.
I think I can handle it.
You
So
could do it. You've done it
I'm
so far. And I mean, just,
exactly.
to
Yeah,
know that, what your dad has done is so, I mean,
yeah,
that's just honorable of him to, you're his daughter for one, but I mean, to know that
absolutely,
you were a match. I mean, it was just all meant to
absolutely.
be,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
and talking about that, because obviously mental health plays a big role, right,
Hmm.
in dealing with health transitions and dealing with what's going on right now in,
Yes.
the world. How do you, I know you're the healer hip hop, so tell us how your spirituality plays a big role in,
A very,
yeah.
very, very big role, and it has always played a
Mm-hmm.
big role, but it has really tripled or something in the
Mm.
last months. I remember in March and April,
Mm-hmm.
I went for a walk every morning to go outside, walk in nature,
Mm-hmm.
to get fresh air, stay active, uh, meditated a lot. And
Mm.
I'm not good at that. I really, that's not easy for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get distracted all the time. So I found a new thing, which is active meditation. So somebody telling me all these things while I walk.
Mm-hmm.
That was my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of helped me. Like, actually, it was, for me personally, it was a pretty good time. I have to
Mm-hmm.
say that. It doesn't sound good, but it was, I made the best of it.
Yeah. It sounds like affirmations, right?
Yes,
Yes.
that too. I
Yeah.
journal. I never
Mm-hmm.
journaled. I hated it.
Oh, I
I
love, yeah, yeah. I love that. I
Now
love
I'm
that.
journaling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
recently started doing, to where, every morning also with the journaling, I even started getting up super early where I just can't stay asleep.
yeah.
So, and I think you said that last night, you were like, I can't, it's like 3:30 in the morning.
Horrible.
So something
Yeah.
my great aunt used to say, she was 108 when she passed away. And
Wow.
she told me, like out the blue one day, she called and she was like, what are you doing? And I'm just like, I'm grocery shopping. And why are you? She's like
Hmm.
108 years old calling, and she
Hmm.
said, take care of yourself. She said it like
Hmm.
that. Like, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm taking care. And then she said,
Hmm.
did you hear? She said, did you hear what I said? And I
Hmm.
said, yeah, I heard you. She said, take
Hmm.
care
Hmm.
of
Hmm.
yourself.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, and a week later she was gone. She had
Hmm.
passed, but I mean, after 108 years, I'm listening to this woman like,
Hmm.
I'm going to take care of me. And I took that as stop helping everybody so much, take care of
Yes.
yourself,
Yes.
start saying no, and then with the affirmations, she told me, when you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't sleep, don't lay there, get
Yeah.
up and
Yeah.
walk through your house and do affirmations.
Or take a foot bath.
You said
And you
that
were
last night. Yeah, yeah.
recommended a tea. Yeah.
Did you do that? Did you take a foot bath or did you do
I
tea?
slept. I felt
Okay.
it was late enough.
I was like, I
I was
wonder if
like,
she could.
am I gonna? I might just as well sleep, and it
Yeah,
worked.
because
So
and
I,
then wait, and then you had me so confused because I'm like, are we 14 hours
yeah,
apart? Because you were like, it's 3:30 here, and I'm like, well, it's only 7 here.
yeah.
I was so confused for
Uh-huh.
like 30 minutes. I was trying to figure out like, well, what time am I gonna call her? I'm just all over the world right now, Anna. It's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
crazy. So
yeah. I
you're
can't even keep up. You're so busy. You seem to be like everywhere. It's great.
it's a
It's
blessing.
amazing.
It's a
Yeah.
blessing. And, going back to you, of course, in the beginning when we met, because it started like, with remembering too, if Anna
Hmm.
could do it, I could do it, because you actually were doing it. You're doing it by podcast, by like radio, right? By like
Yeah.
without the face.
Yeah.
So to be able to like hold this conversation, without seeing the emotion. And
Hmm.
I think it's amazing. And I still want to say thank you, since
Hmm.
2017. I mean, I've just been really grateful to have you as a friend.
Thank you
So,
too. Same.
so the idea, the face behind the brand, it's really is what it means for me. And
Hmm.
and I'm thanking you for sharing your story, because it's personal,
Hmm.
with your health, because it's the face is the largest emotional organ,
Hmm.
right? And we smile, we
Hmm.
cry, we
Hmm.
get mad and sad, and all these different
Hmm.
things we could see. So I just feel that it's important to touch base like this
Hmm.
with people like you, because you're doing a lot when it comes to podcasting, and you're doing so much for us as musicians. So I want to talk more about some of those who you've had on the show, and even recently.
Hmm.
You had a amazing interview with, is it Adiz? Am I saying that right?
Yes,
Yes,
Adisa. Yeah.
Adisa. Talk to me more
Yeah.
about that interview,
We
because I
we
listened
have
to
to
that.
do it in English again because he's a Canadian, so we
Okay.
should have done it in English, but we chose to do it in German first.
Yeah.
Very, very inspiring guy. He's
Yes.
pretty young, but he's like an old soul.
Mm-hmm.
And he yeah, he I still don't know why somebody would come from Canada and live here, but okay, he did. He came here 4 years ago, okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he spoke very, very good German.
Mm-hmm.
So we did the podcast in German, and I've been following around for a while, and he said he always he grew up to his mom listening to Erica Badu. So
Mm.
that made me feel old because I grew up with Erica. So so he's like one of the first generations, yeah, just like my son, who will grow up with their mom listening to Erica Badu. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we
Mm-hmm.
had that connection. So and he did some music here and there, and he was inspired by the Black Lives Matter protests
Mm-hmm.
here around the corner so much that he did an EP, a whole
Mm.
EP called For the Culture.
Yes.
He said he personally wasn't affected that much by racism when he grew up in Canada, but he said they're my brothers and sisters, and
Mm.
also he has family, I think, in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, mm-mm, I'm in this too, and I will
Yeah.
stand there too. I will fight for it, and it's my duty to do anything I can do. And if it's music to inspire people or make
Mm-hmm.
them aware of something, then that's that.
Mm-hmm.
And I really loved the EP. So everyone listen to Adisa. He's
Adisa.
on my account. He's
Yes,
I
yes.
tagged him, so that EP is I think on Spotify and yeah, wherever
Well,
it's out there.
I heard it actually. I think it was the day after you posted it because I was
How'd
just
you
like,
like
"Who
it?
is this?" Yes, and I was
He's
like, "Oh my
good,
god!"
right?
So we definitely need to get him, of course, on the show.
You can,
I'll
sure.
have you
He's
hook that up, okay?
sure. I'd love to see another interview with him because he's
Yes,
such a sweet person.
very
Really,
sweet
very,
person,
yeah.
wonderful spirit.
Yeah,
I picked
so
that up
that
right
makes
away.
sense. So we did the
Hmm.
German interview, and now he gets to do an English interview, and
He
then
needs
we're
to
all
do. He'll be done.
yeah,
So let's
great.
talk a little bit about that because you're talking about the singing and emotion, and I'm just
Uh-huh.
again still so delighted to say that. Of course, I know that you are a bona fide soul singer. Okay, so
Yeah,
let's talk about where that comes from. You know, you talked about your dad. I mean, who influenced the music? Where does the voice come from?
the voice is just there. That
Wow.
itself is another story why this whole thing is called the healer hip hop.
Yes. Yes.
When I grew up, I loved singing, but I
Mm-hmm.
sang under the table. I would
Mm.
not ever sing in front of people. I would never sing at school. I would get the worst grade because I refused to sing in front of people.
Oh my
And
God.
that's bad because it was one of my biggest dreams to sing, but I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Um, so I did music in my like I listened a lot to Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill, D'Angelo,
Mm,
lot of music. I sang all the songs. That's how I learned English actually.
mm,
And then I did music on my laptop very
mm.
early on, music, but would never show anyone.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So yeah, it was that. So that's a whole long story of
It's
healing.
okay.
And
Yeah.
to stand there. That's why I posted that video. To stand on that stage and sing a song, and
Like
that
that.
song,
Yes.
yeah, and like
That's
that. That is, if I look at it, like this will forever be one of my most impressive or most important moments. Just
hmm
like giving birth, it was
yeah.
like giving birth in a
Oh,
way.
I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Well, I feel like I'm glad you said that because I think seasons are important, right? And
Mm-hmm,
I was talking to Val.
mm-hmm,
She was on recently. Val's
mm-hmm,
at Val Speaks is
mm-hmm,
her account, and she said something recently, and it just really triggered that thought. What you just said. She said, you know, seasons. There's different seasons.
mm-hmm.
There's a birthing season. There's a harvest season. You know,
Yes.
there's a time to be born. You know, unfortunately, there's a
Yeah.
time to pass. But it's just like I felt like when you did that, I felt totally like you were in like both. You know, I feel like, you know, you could be in birthing and harvesting at the same time. And you just like literally just like pushed yourself out there. And I sat
Mm-hmm.
there for a second and I was like literally like this. Like Anna
Same.
is
Still the
singing.
same.
Yeah. So that in itself, I know that was very big for you.
Yes.
And I think that, you know, we need to definitely hear more of that, you
I'm
know.
working on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Working on it.
And be
Really, really.
comfortable with
Mhm.
it. You know, I'm here
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
So,
Thank
you
you.
know, I'm definitely here for you. So talk about the music scene. Like, so that night, that was a live event.
Yes. Yeah.
Obviously prior to COVID, what is the scene like for live shows over there? I mean, is
Oh,
it,
right now. Oh, we don't have
no,
them.
before COVID.
Oh,
Yeah,
before
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
Um. A lot of live music and a lot of jazzy soul
Mm-hmm.
music is
Mm-hmm.
very, very common, and there are big concerts. And Erica was very nearby, like in 2000, I don't remember, 2007, 8, I don't remember.
Wow. Yeah, yeah.
So we have a lot of that,
Mm-hmm.
like live shows, small, big,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, stadiums, we have everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that was very satisfying. You know, Germany used to be divided into 4 parts,
Mm-hmm.
and since 1996, I lived in the part which was, I don't know if the word governed is the right word, but it was
Mm-hmm.
kind of governed by the United States. I don't know
Mm.
if you knew that.
No,
So it
I
was
didn't.
divided. It was divided, a Russian part, a British part, a French, and the United States. So, and of course, that came with a lot of music
Mm-hmm.
influence. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the army people used to live here, and they brought a lot of music
Mm-hmm.
here.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's why naturally now we have a lot of very, very cool concerts here.
So who are
You
some of
you
those?
you
I
could
know,
come.
I've been saying I'm coming, honey. I'm coming. I'll be coming right to your house too.
We have yeah, you should. We have something called the Jazz Open, and that's like
Okay.
kind of my favorite. Yeah.
Okay. So
Hmm.
that's the next big thing after the
Yes.
world opens back
Yes.
up. Who are some of the big headliners in Germany? Like what's some of the big names?
German artists or who
German
are big?
artists. Yeah, like
German
that.
art.
Yeah.
Okay, my favorite one. I don't know if he's that big, but he's biggest to me.
Mm-hmm.
Is a rapper called Megalo,
Oh.
and he's of I think half Nigerian, half German heritage,
Mm.
and he has founded a group called BSMG, which stands for Brothers Sisters Move Globally.
I have to look that up. BSMG.
Yes, and
Okay.
their music, it's in German, but I
Mm.
think you will get the power behind it. And he did
Yeah.
a whole album on Africa and empowering Africa because he knows, because since he grew up here, he knows how we look at Africa like as this
Mm-hmm.
poor continent, which it in some ways, of course, still is. But he
Mm-hmm.
also knows from being in Nigeria or traveling around Africa
Mm-hmm.
what is growing there and how much power is still there and how much is the word heritage
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
I don't know. There's still so much, and it's all in that album. You can listen. It's one of my favorite
Well, you
albums.
always discover some amazing
Yeah.
folks. I mean, whether it be underground or, it's just like you're saying, like the vibration, like it just,
Yeah.
once you get that, you get
If
the,
I had to name one album that stands for the healer hip hop, it's that, because what I like about this artist Megalo is that he's not just growing alone. He always brings his friends with him. He brings people
mm,
from Africa with him. He helps everyone. He empowers people
mm-hmm,
around him and
mm-hmm.
globally. Or
Yeah,
it's just I love people like him, and it sounds really good too.
yeah.
So
Well,
it's not just the
it's,
concept. Yeah,
I was going to say, it's not the concept. And it sounds like that's why he's growing, because look what he's
yeah,
doing. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? He's sharing,
yeah.
and
And he's authentic. I love
yeah,
that. And he's special. He's not following any trend. He's like, no, Africa is important to me. Let me
yeah.
do an album on Africa.
And it's
That's what I'm
Megaloo.
doing.
Am I saying it right?
Yeah, megalo. In German, it's megalo, like megalomaniac.
Mm,
It's something like that. Yeah, I
okay.
can show you the link later.
Okay.
He'll be one of my favorite artists. Yeah.
Awesome. So you talked about collaborating earlier with an artist. So are you talking about recording live in a studio?
I'm going to record. Yeah. You know,
Oh,
the thing is, yeah, one thing that came with my transplant is I kind of feel like I'm still in a state of fear,
mm-hmm.
which I still have to let go. And
Yeah.
it kind of came back with this whole COVID experience.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel threatened by the thought of going to a club or singing on
Of
a stage
course.
because, so I was kind of sad because I wanted to do music because now I have the energy
Mm-hmm.
again.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I was thinking and I'm journaling, so I'm manifesting. I want to, by the end of this year, have at least one feature on a song.
Oh,
So I'm already kind of there. So
okay.
it kind of happened today. So I think why not manifest more features on
Well,
songs? I
let's
think I
do
want to
it.
start there.
Let's
Yeah.
do it. Then you and let's do a song
I
then. So
really
you
want to
just
do
manifest.
that.
Let's
I
do
really
it.
want
Let's
to do
manifest.
that. I don't know why that didn't even occur to me. I always thought,
Dare you
yeah,
not think about no. Yeah, because I was just still so like even when I posted it last night, I'm like, listen at her voice. Like this is just crazy to me.
I'm the same. My son always laughs at me like, why are you watching your own video all the time? And I'm like, I can't believe
It's
this
you.
happened.
Yes, it's you. So
Yeah.
if you could change one or two things, I mean, there's so much that can be changed about the industry today. I mean,
Hmm.
because you talk to so many artists. If
Hmm.
you could change anything about the industry, what would it be?
I think it's already happening. I think
Mm.
people have easier access
Yes.
to just do music and publish it.
Yes.
And when I was younger and I did my music at home, I didn't see any chance of ever
Mm-hmm.
publishing it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
now I just get to tell someone, yeah, I want a feature on your track. He sends me the track. I
Mm-hmm.
sing on it, send it back to him via email. Now we have a track.
Yeah. Yeah.
How
Yeah.
great is that?
Yeah.
we can collaborate. You being in San Francisco, me being here.
Mm-hmm.
This is amazing. This is
Yeah.
something that the internet already helped change.
Mm-hmm.
And then the easier access to publish our music is, I think that's a great thing.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
What about writing? What are you doing when it comes to writing?
I wrote today that little, is it called hook or the
Yes.
whatever?
You wrote a hook.
How I write? I start with the beat.
Wow.
Then I have a melody.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then of course it has like natural, like some endings,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to just make them words, and then I have to
Yes.
make it all sense,
Mm-hmm.
make sense, and then that's how I
I'm
kind of.
so proud of you.
Thank
I
you.
am. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Now, are
Yeah.
you so you talked about publishing and writers, or did you join a PRO organization?
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, so the Performance Rights Organization. I'm glad you touched on it because you talked about publishing.
Oh yeah.
So for
Uh-huh.
someone like yourself and your friend who you're going to be
Yeah.
collaborating with, the artist,
Yeah.
he probably belongs to, maybe BMI,
Mm-hmm.
ASCAP,
Okay. Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
think there's one other one,
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of it right now, but basically that's how they track your royalties. And basically that's
Yeah.
how you get paid when it
Mm-hmm.
plays on YouTube,
Yeah.
iTunes,
Okay.
Spotify. So
Mm-hmm.
I want you to do that today.
Okay.
Even if you just log on and just log on
Okay.
to performance rights organizations. I know you do your research,
Okay.
so you
Okay.
what the best one is for you.
Yeah.
Because now that you're writing,
Mm-hmm.
you want to definitely copyright your songs.
Mm-hmm.
Our office here is the Library of Congress, just like an Arthur would publish
Mm-hmm.
and copyright. Well, we copyright
Mm-hmm.
through the Library of Congress
Mm-hmm.
here. It's in Washington, D.C. And then you do the Performance Right Organization. That's as far as your writers
Mm-hmm.
in your music credit. So even if you're just performing on his track,
Mm-hmm.
you should
Mm-hmm.
still be getting credit.
Mm-hmm.
Even if unless
Yeah,
he's
I
doing
want
some
credit.
type of even if he's doing like a work for hire and paying you
Yeah.
outright, but still,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this
Mm-hmm.
is huge. Anna, come
Mm-hmm.
on, Anna's singing. This is
Yeah,
crazy. So we
I'm
want to
singing.
know. We want the world to know also how many
Yeah.
credits. It's powerful. It's like
Yeah.
building up your resume, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So jot that down, and then Performance
Making
Rights
notes.
Organization.
Yeah.
I want you to do that.
Thank
So
you. Yeah.
you're welcome. You're very welcome. What's the best advice you've been given?
Oh, wow, you hit me with that.
Just like boom. I just gave you some. No.
The best advice I have been given must have come from Erica or Jill Scott, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what comes to my mind. Yeah, I think the song Me
Yes.
by Erica Badu.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's still me. And if I have to choose between, I choose me.
Yes.
So if you have this concept of me or who I need to be or what I need to be, and I have my own concept, then I always, if I have to choose, I choose me. I think that's
Powerful.
a very powerful, and it's been a long way
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to get what she said. She said that 10 years ago. And to really follow that is very powerful, because
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the reasons why it's taken me so long to stand there and sing or do what I love, you know?
Give birth to your voice, basically.
Exactly.
You
So,
gave birth to your voice a while ago, but it's harvest.
And actually, what just came to my mind, dialysis and everything I had to go through kind of forced me to choose me. There was no question, you know, if ever I had a choice, I always had to choose my health, you know, my mental well-being. Yeah, I had to choose me. And I also through all of this, I had to find a way to still be happy and have a beautiful, a wonderful, meaningful life.
Yeah.
And which kind of made those years not as hard as they were, and they were very hard physically. And part of why it's been a little easier is because I chose me.
Yeah.
Doing what I like.
I love you.
I love you too.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy, and I'm so happy that you're healthy and that you're here in the land of the living.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, that means everything to me. So if you could tell someone, because you pretty much did, if someone was coming up behind you and she's probably 20 years younger than you, because I mean, we
Mhm.
have a generation right behind us, right? What advice would you give her with what you just shared? What would you say to her if she was afraid to get on stage and
I'm actually working on something like that.
mm,
I just completed something like I became an integral life consultant, and it took like 1.5 years to do that. And I kind of want to, um, what I found is that everything I'm doing is already in me. As you said, where's that voice coming from? It's from
mm-hmm,
inside of me. It's been
yes,
there.
mm-hmm,
That power, that love, and that passion for it has been there. So I want to create a little course, maybe audio. I still don't know how. Maybe even a book. Maybe even a healer hip hop
okay,
book.
yes,
How to spark that energy that is inside of you, and
mm-hmm,
your creativity to create. Allow yourself to create, even if you have to throw it in the trash afterwards.
yes, yes,
Let it out. Try
yes,
it.
mm-hmm,
Trying, asking people, for example, can I do a feature? The worst you can get is a no. So I think the best advice, create.
mm-hmm, mm, just do
That's
it,
an
yeah,
advice. Yeah, just see what is in there. You
mm-hmm,
have a lot in you, and you can only discover it by creating.
mm-hmm, yeah,
That's what I found. Yeah.
that's
And
amazing.
I think the more you create, the more confident you get. And then one day you just stand on a stage and sing Jill Scott, The Real Thing.
Yes,
So
there it is. Yeah.
boom. Yeah.
One of her, you reminded me of one of her other songs that remind me of that is, have you heard that song, One is the Magic Number?
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
love that song.
Yeah.
That song,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's evident. It's
Yeah.
what it says. One is the magic number. I mean, without
Yeah.
the number one, there
Yeah.
can be nothing else,
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
and in closing, I want to say that with you because, you have chosen to be an influencer. You are a
Yes.
very powerful woman. You're an activist.
Hmm.
You support the movement.
I
You,
definitely think it's my job to do
yeah,
that.
and
Really.
that's
Yeah.
incredible. And like I said, I picked that up almost
Hmm.
4 years ago, and I'm
Hmm.
just so glad, that we connected. And
Hmm.
I just want you to know that, and spiritually speaking, he who that's in you is greater than he who's in the world, Anna.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what's in you, I'm
That's
glad that
something.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're letting it out. You're letting us hear it.
Yeah.
Because for me not to know for 4 years, I'm still in shock. I had just no clue about this. So, but that's good because guess what that says? There's a mystery about you, you
There's
know?
definitely a mystery. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not going to hold you too much longer, but I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time
It was so
tonight.
good seeing you. I was so excited to see you again. And I love the background you have. I
You
really
like my
love that.
background,
I
girl?
love
That's
your
the band.
background.
That's my band up there. They stay with me.
Love it. Wow.
So
Really
keep
like it.
keep keep me in touch, and what we'll do is maybe we'll do another follow up so that we could see and hear about this
I'm
collaboration.
always here. Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
So
We'll
love
love
you.
to.
God bless you.
Love you too.
Okay, I'll see you soon.
Take good care. Bye.
Okay, bye bye.